been waiting long.
Hi, Miriam.
Hi.
Okay, I'm all ready. Let's go.
Oh, wait, Courtney, I just got here.
Well, I know, but Miriam, I'm so hungry I could eat a horse. Please, just get me to the nearest restaurant.
Oh, wait a minute. Can I at least say hello to my Uncle Preston? Mrs. Lucas said he's here, too.
He's in the study with your father. I'll tell him you're here.
No, Mrs. Lucas. I wish she hadn't done that.
Courtney, what is the matter with you? I mean, why are you so anxious for us to get out of here?
We might as well hear it from me instead of Father. Vaughn's engagement ring.
I thought you and Peter were starting to
Peter
have...
and I broke up.
Oh, gentlemen, come on in. I can't think of a better way to end the day than with Kojak and Clark Kent. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. No hard feelings, I hope. Hey, the trial's over.
Where is Sebastian Knight, Congressman?
Sebastian?
Yeah, we're talking about the one who's responsible for you being elected, your campaign manager.
I know who he is. What do you want with him?
Why don't you just tell us where we can find him?
I'd like to ask him a few questions.
Some questions. You can ask me.
Well, I'm sorry, he's going to have to speak for himself.
We often speak for one another. Anything you want to ask him, you can ask me.
Yeah? Even your wife's murder.
What are you guys driving at? My wife's murderer is sitting in jail.
You can make things a lot simpler just by asking Mr. Knight to come in here.
I'd like to help you, but he's not here.
Yeah, we figured as much.
At the risk of seeming redundant, where is he?
Vacationing.
Oh, you mean to tell me he left town?
We left the country. He's taking well-deserved R&R in the Alps.
Switzerland?
Zurich, the last time we talked.
The last time you talked, and how long ago was that?
Gene, just let me ask the questions, all right? All right, Congressman, how do we get in contact with him?
I don't know.
Do you know how hard I work at being a patient man?
I am giving it to you straight, Sergeant. The last time he phoned me from Zurich, he said he was leaving for some small villages in the mountains somewhere for a couple of days, and that he would contact me from there.
Yeah, I'll just bet. Likely story.
And that's enough sarcasm from you. Now, let's just spell it out. Why are you here?
Gladly. We're trying to figure out how your wife's corpse seemed to move.
What are you talking about?
Well, Stacy testified in court that when she fired the gun, she remembered the victim falling headfirst towards the entrance door. Only Sergeant Brubaker and his men, when they found the body, it was facing the bedroom.
What is he talking
The
about?
possibility that Stacy didn't kill her mother. That maybe somebody else did. That maybe there was a second person involved.
I don't know, second suspect who might be anxious to get out of the country.
You look beautiful.
Dave, please.
You can't take a compliment, can you? I never realized that about you before, but you can't.
Well, don't you feel the least bit awkward?
About telling you how pretty you look? No, not at all.
How about being out on a date with me?
Oh, well, do you feel uncomfortable with me? Or I guess I should ask, do you feel uncomfortable being alone with me? I mean, without our attention being focused on either a family crisis or our job, our work, my trial.
I'm so glad that trial's over.
Oh, so am I. You know, sometimes seeing you in the courtroom was all that got me through it.
Really?
Yes, really. I guess what I'm trying to say is that your strength and friendship helped me get through it all. I don't think I could have lasted without you.
Oh, sure you could have.
No, I couldn't have. But as much as your being there helped me, it also made it awkward.
I don't understand.
Well, my divorce, for one. All my attempts trying to get back together with Kate.
You wanted to get back, didn't you?
Yes, and you saw what happened.
Yeah, she married Lee instead.
Right. Cutting off any chance for us to get back together again.
But Dave, you tried. I mean, even though she divorced you, when you were born again, you tried to restore your marriage.
Yes, but that's what I'm getting at. I always felt that it bothered you more than you let on.
Look, I always encouraged you to try, didn't I?
Yes, until she made it final that she didn't want to see me again. But, well, I just felt that it was a convenient device for you to keep me at arm's length.
But didn't you think that that was best, considering the circumstances?
Yes, but now the circumstances have changed, and, well, here we are, the two of us, on our first official date. And you feel awkward, and I feel awkward, too.
Well, it certainly is gorgeous. Why do I get the feeling that you're denying your heart to wear it?
It's better this way, Miriam.
Okay, just keep telling yourself that, and maybe you'll start to believe it.
Can't you understand why?
That's what I'm waiting to hear. The last time we talked, you were just ecstatic to be free from Von Sumner and the whole social life of Lake Forest.
I was, but I changed my mind. I really do love Vaughn. I always have.
Yeah, I see.
Besides, Miriam, I have a responsibility to my family. Well, to my mother. Dad's done everything that he could. I guess it's my turn now.
Have you seriously thought about what you're doing? I mean, long and hard, Courtney.
It'll work out.
That's the very same thing I said when I married Paul. But I know now that it was more out of rebellion than love.
Well, that's not the case with me.
Just the same, Preston, I think my accountant should look that over because it should be corrected before you file your tax return.
Well, look what we've got here. Two lovely-looking ladies look exactly like our daughters, Charles.
Hello, Uncle Preston.
Ah, Mary.
Hi.
How are you? Still my favorite niece?
Yes, and you're still my very favorite uncle.
Preston, we do have to check those
Oh,
things
come
over.
on, in a little while, in a little while. Now, where are you two off to without me?
We're going to dinner. Why don't you join us?
Oh, I'd love to, but you heard your Uncle Charles. Business before pleasures. Some other time, okay?
You're on.
You two go ahead and enjoy yourselves.
Okay, thanks, Dad. We'll see you later.
Oh, Courtney, this would be the perfect time to tell your Uncle Charles the good news.
Oh, he knows about the engagement.
No, darling, not about that. I mean about your moving in.
What? What was that?
Well, she's gonna move in here with you, like we discussed in the beginning.
When did you decide this, Courtney? I thought you were really enjoying dorm life.
Well, the novelty is wearing off. Marion, we better get going. Bye, Uncle Charles.
Bye, Courtney.
Bye-bye. Enjoy. Sweet things.
Moving in? You might have warned me just a little.
Well, now, Charles, you knew she would be eventually.
Yes, but that was before,
Now, Charles. Let's not talk like bad brothers. This accountant of yours. When can I get to see him?
Stacy's fingerprints don't add up either.
Now, wait just a minute. That was positive identification. Those were her prints. Now you're telling me
I'm
that...
telling you that she couldn't have pressed down on a panic bar and leave fingerprints from both of her hands if she had a gun in one of them. Now, maybe she used only one hand when she supposedly ran out of the apartment complex with the gun in her hand, which was found in the parking lot, by the way, without any fingerprints on it.
Gentlemen, let's don't be second-guessing here all evening, okay? Just tell me, when will Mr. Knight be back in town?
2 weeks at the most.
You don't know that either?
Look, he deserves his time off. He worked very hard to win my election.
And just whose idea was it for him to have this much time off, yours or his?
Just who do you think you are, Redland, coming in here with all those insinuations?
Okay. Let's just stay on the track, gentlemen. Where was Mr. Knight when your wife was shot?
You know where he was. He was with me in Perryville. You interrogated him.
Yes, I did. He said he was home with his wife.
Interesting alibi. Two places at the same time.
Right. At home. He was at home.
I thought you just said he was in Perryville.
Because I wasn't thinking. You said when she was shot. I automatically thought of that whole dreadful day.
When you were out campaigning in Perryville, it was the Dairy Farmers Convention, wasn't it?
Yes, Sebastian met me there.
Yeah, and what time did he get there?
Look, I'm sure all of that is in his statement.
Well, why don't you just tell us again, Congressman? Was it before or after you checked into the hotel?
It was after.
And you and he were both assigned to the same room?
Yes, because I had briefing material to go over, and it had to be done before we met with the farmers at daybreak.
4 a.m. in the morning when you were supposed to be shaking hands with the farmers, right?
Yes. And Mr. Knight was with you there?
Of course.
From start to finish?
I said he was there. Look, this is a closed case, and hashing it isn't going to do any of us any good.
Did you see Sebastian come into the hotel or not?
If you want to call me into your office, please do.
Wait a minute.
I think right now both of you better leave. Or how about security? Or would you like me to call the police commissioner and let him know that one of his detectives has reopened a case after the fact?
No, not at all. I think we got what we came for. Let's go, Gene.
Thanks for your time.
Amber, this is Lee. We have to talk. No, not over the phone. Can you be at my office right away?
You're not forgetting my price for Courtney's room and board, are you?
Oh, what do you want, Charles? Rent deposit for your own niece?
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Certainly not your hospitality.
No, our agreement. Or are you weaseling out on that?
Oh, that. Look, Charles, you don't want that in writing, too.
No, I don't. But I certainly am going to impose a few unwritten conditions.
Why is it that I don't like that snake oil look in your eye? Reminds me of Cousin Lars when he was about to come down with a case of whiplash. You two were as thick as thieves.
Preston, your original offer to me was your seat on the board of the shipping company.
Yes, and you will eventually get it, won't you?
Eventually, yes, but I don't want to wait until you're dead. I don't want to wait that long. You may be my older brother, but you could outlive me.
Oh, yeah. Another 20 years in this vale of tears. That would be a long time for you to covet.
I could certainly benefit this company right now. Why should I wait for 20 years?
By rolling it over in the mud with your gangster friends
All right,
again?
now let's just leave that alone. That's ancient history.
Ancient history that almost ruined this business. Now you want another crack at an instant replay over my dead body.
Over your dead body is what I don't want. I want that seat now. And if I don't get it, Preston, I will not accommodate you by serving as Courtney's guardian.
Big deal. So I didn't tell you about my interview with Gene Redlin.
Why?
Lee, he was only there for a few minutes, not enough time to even write 2 lines. What's the matter?
Because Redlin and Brubaker spent a half an hour in this office today.
Oh, I see. So you got me out of the sauna to tell me that Redlin and Brubaker dropped by.
They didn't drop by, Amber. They have some theory that your mother's murderer is still at large.
Yeah, I know. Gene Redlin tried to lay that one on me, too. I threw him out. You should have done the same thing.
What did you tell him?
Word for word?
Yes.
You're serious?
To the core. Come on, I want to know.
I don't know what I said.
Look, he wanted to know what I thought about Stacy's confession. I told him that I was hoping that now that she's in prison that she'll get the psychiatric help that she needs. That was it. Until he mentioned the thing about the second murderer.
Is that all?
What's with you, Lee?
I just don't like what those two are inferring.
Sounds to me like you know something more than I do.
What are you driving at?
Hiding something?
That's not funny, Amber.
I'm not joking.
Look, I really loved your mother, contrary to popular belief.
I don't think I've asked you to convince me of that.
No, but my faithfulness to her is fuzzy in some people's minds.
In my mind or in yours? I seem to recall a certain blonde on the witness stand. Andrea, your ex-playmate.
And you seem to have conveniently forgotten my testimony in that very same chair. Look, Just keep me informed if Redlin or the police come back, okay?
And what about my mother's memory?
What about it?
What about the fact that I'm trying to lay all of this aside and get on with my life?
Well, I don't see where I'm hindering that.
But you are, with all of your little problems. Everybody is. I can't even be in my own apartment. I look at the floor and I see her lying there.
Amber, honey, I know how you feel, but it'll pass. It'll just take a little time, that's
I
all.
need a lot more than just time. I need to get out of this place.
Well, don't do that, at least not yet.
Why not?
Look, Amber, just hold off this move for a little while. Give yourself a chance to get your head together and...
Make it sound like insanity runs in the family.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry. I didn't mean that, but...
I really don't need to hear any of this. You know, my sauna is a lot more comforting than trying to figure out Redlin's second theories.
So, what do we do with two awkward-feeling people at this point?
Well, we could start by talking about things we have in common rather than things that make us uncomfortable.
Somehow I don't think that's what you want to say.
No, I think you're right.
Well, then why don't you just tell me in plain English?
Well, I guess I wouldn't be honest if I didn't admit that, well, I felt cheated by Kate's death. Do you ever feel that way about Scott?
Yeah, not as much as I used to. You know, time really is a great healer. And the memories have a way of overcoming grief.
Well, maybe it's just my pride that wanted a second chance at getting Kate back.
Dave, I think it was much more than that.
Well, maybe. But past is over for both of us, isn't it?
If we let it be.
Do you think that someone will ever, well, take the place of Scott?
You know, 6 months ago I would have said no. And now, well, I'm not so sure. Do you think that someone could take Kate's place in your life?
Oh, I think that's possible.
Well, I see that Vaughn has come up with another diamond for Courtney. May I suggest that you step down from the board immediately in order to keep that diamond ring on her finger?
Oh, you've got it all figured out, haven't you?
Well, you want her to stay under this roof as long as she's going to school here in Kingsley, don't you?
Yes.
Then why don't you retire? You've earned it. You've worked yourself to a frazzle. Your wife's health is in serious jeopardy, and you can't afford to have Courtney not marry Vaughn Sumner.
What makes you think the Sumners would take you on the board of directors when they discover your past business blunders?
Oh, any of my past business mistakes don't hold a candle to those seagoing white elephants you put so much money into. I don't think you'll ever live down buying those outmoded tankers during the oil surplus.
Serious error committed by Phyllis.
Which, I might remind you, you allowed. You know, any fool would have realized the economic absurdity of that idea.
So, what do you want, Charles?
I want you to retire, and I'll take your place on the board. Let me tell you, I'll show a profit in 6 months. I know I can.
You mean you think you can? And suppose I'm not ready to retire. Has that thought ever crossed your mind?
Not nearly as much as the emotional and psychological crunch that Phyllis is putting you through. It's tension, Preston. And of course you realize as well, I'm sure, that her Alzheimer's disease cannot be cured.
That doesn't mean she's going to get any less care. She's still my wife.
Of course, and I want the best for her just as you do. That's why you've got to spend more time with her. Can you imagine her reaction if Courtney breaks up with Vaughn again, which would mean that you would lose the company, and it would also mean that you could not afford to give her the kind of care she's getting right now? And if that happens, nobody wins.
All right, Charles. As soon as Courtney steps down from the altar with Vaughn, I'll step down from the company. You can step up, but then and only then, not 1 minute before.
That sounds fair. I'll guarantee Courtney's loyalty to Vaughn while she's under this roof. But the moment they take their vows, you step aside and I take over, on the Carpenter Shipping Line Board.
Fine. Now let's consider it a gentleman's agreement.
No, I think on second thought we'll have this in writing, Preston.
Would you like to come in? I can make some coffee.
Oh, I better not. I have an early start tomorrow morning.
Okay.
But, thanks for asking.
Well, dinner was very special. I enjoyed it.
Yes, so did I. We'll have to do it again sometime.
Yeah, let's do that.
Especially the company, more so than the food. May I call you? What is it?
Well, just hearing you ask. I mean, you call me practically every day.
I guess I do. All right, then, I'll call you. Good night, Terry.
Good night, Dave.